Why would anyone want to stay in an RV park long term? All the RV parks that we know of get a bad rap for having people stay long term. But the bad rap, sometimes it's pretty warranted. It's warranted because they let their campers get all...
Yeah, I mean, you'll see some with window units hanging out of them.
Ugh.
You'll see some with that they have siding on and the siding's falling off of it.
Yeah.
And
or the grass is growing around there.
Right. Or they just their campsite is completely littered. I mean, stacks of stuff.
Right.
Like they've been there a million years.
We've seen some bad stuff. And then some people, if you've been doing this for a while, it's kind of like the first thing you look at when you go in. Has people been living here a long time? But did you know that there's another side to long term? Up next. Let's talk about what is long term. Long term stays are, well, you don't think long-term stays a couple of days, but he's the one that makes the reservations.
Right.
So
I feel like if you're there for a couple of days, then you're staying on a daily.
Okay.
Your long-term, my opinion, your long-term is going to be your week, because that's where you start to get your discounts for staying a whole week instead of just days. But there's an upside and a downside to that, because the downside to not to staying there for a week and getting the week's
wait a minute. You got the weekly, and then you've got the monthly.
Right.
Yes, a month or more.
Right.
Sometimes you can do 2 months.
Well, with the monthly, we're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah, but so it's weekly or daily, weekly, and monthly. But usually it's not daily, because you're not going to get a big discount for less than a week.
Right, but on your dailies, you can use like your Good Sam discount if they're a Good Sam park, or Passport America if they're a Passport America park, and also whatever the discounts come with dailies.
With dailies, but then you have
with the weeklies, they give you a discounted rate for the week.
Right.
Now those little memberships and stuff, they don't apply for when they go to weekly and monthly.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so there's the 3 reasons why you would use a long-term stay. So the first one is you find an area, if you're traveling and you find an area that you really like.
Right.
And Wilson gave a great explanation of that before, and that would be like Yellowstone.
Right.
We needed to stay at least a week. We stayed 2 weeks.
And it wasn't long enough.
It wasn't long enough.
That place is huge.
Right. And in Michigan, it wasn't long enough.
No.
We could have stayed in Michigan at that one KOA for at least probably another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But that when you want to go hiking, you want to explore, the area is just full of things to do.
Right.
That is the best reasons.
Well,
that is really the best time, is when you're
having a good time.
Long term.
You're having a good time. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, the way we do it is not so much of a good time, because I'm working.
Well, but that's different. This is okay, so the second reason is seasonal.
Right.
Then you have the people that want to get out of the snow, and they go down to Florida or they go down to Texas. Yep. And we've seen, this is crazy, which I don't know if Texas, if this happens in Florida or not, let us know. But in Texas, people will get a RV, and then they have these beautiful RV parks down in Corpus Christi, Galveston, Rockport, all of that area. Yep. And Seabrook, they have all of that down there. And what they do is they just put an RV on the lot.
Just leave it there.
They just leave there.
They pay their monthly deal, and then they just come and they visit it on the weekends.
On the weekends, and all the time. I mean, I'm doing that when we fully retire. Like it is the best way to have a house on the beach, because it doesn't cost as much. Well, not yet.
Well,
And then
we'll see.
right, and then you've got the Florida people that Michigan in the summertime, and then they drive down to Florida during the winter.
Yep.
That is super expensive. That can get up to $1,800 to $2,000. That's what we're going to talk about.
Right.
$2,000 a month.
A month for an
Right.
RV site.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I couldn't
is.
believe that when I heard that.
Right, and that's been going on though in Florida. That's been the prices in Florida have been that bad, but we're talking about now. Well, the third reason is our reason, and
Right.
that's work camps.
Like I was saying. So
We
yeah.
have work camps, and it's gotten to be really big when you are paid the way Wilson is paid, and that is with per diems, and so you're paid to stay. Well, when we started this journey, you got the per diems,
Right.
and the per diems really good.
Yep.
Work camps are like huge now
Oh yeah.
because the construction workers and stuff, they've gotten, they got RVs. Everybody's got an RV. They used to stay in hotels, right?
Right. Hotels, long or those extended stays. Some people would even rent houses and apartments and stuff.
Yeah, we knew some guys that did
But
that.
but you get the best bang for your buck as a construction worker receiving per diem at a campground.
I mean, 2 years ago when we started this, the sites in Louisiana were what, $450 a month.
Yeah, like $450 a month. That's
know
all.
what?
That's everything included.
That same thing right now is $700 plus electric.
Yeah, now they're charging electric.
Yeah, nice little gouge at you.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's very popular. I mean, anywhere from like 10 to 13 cents per kilowatt. But where we are now, they're actually charging us 16 cents a kilowatt.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it being that high before.
They are out the RV parks, and they can do it. They can do it.
Well, they're privately owned.
They're privately owned, and everybody can do it. They like to say that it is.
Well, they want to blame it on the electric company.
They want to blame it, on the supply and demand. They want
Right.
to blame it on all these things. These parks are full.
Yeah.
You
they're
guys
full.
know it. You know it because you're out there trying to find a spot.
Right.
We're trying to find a spot. We have a job in Michigan that we want to go to, but we can't because there's nowhere to
Yeah,
put
there's
our
no
RV.
place to go.
That's a problem.
And one of the places there want to charge $1,800 a month
Right.
plus 15 cents per kilowatt.
Right. That's the
like,
new
dude,
adjustment for
wow.
everybody is the electric.
I could rent a house for that.
When we first heard about and electric, that was in Texas, and I
Yeah.
understood that
Yeah.
because they have electrical grids.
Right.
And I did understand that. It was nowhere near the price that we're paying now in
No.
Georgia, who does not have
Nope.
the kind of
Right.
grids
The grid
that Texas
does.
I mean, they were just too much.
It was.
And this has just been outrageous. I mean, so the next thing is that these people that the RV parks are also doing, and I've seen plenty of posts on this, and it's that they are putting their prices on their websites.
Oh no, because they change it.
Mhm.
That's why.
Because hotels have been doing it for years. They changed it. They change it due to occupancy.
Right.
I actually have had people, which would infuriate me and should infuriate you,
Yeah.
is that they'll pay their deposit and then when they get here, they change the rate on them.
Right. That happened in Port Arthur.
Mm-hmm. That did happen to us
Yeah,
in Port Arthur. That's
sure
right.
did.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
I mean, that is just these RV park owners, guys. I know that you guys can do it because of it's yours and you
Right.
can do it,
Sure.
and that's great. But you just need to remember that we were here when you were struggling during the pandemic. All of us RVers got out on the road.
Right.
There wasn't much to do.
No,
but
there
we did
wasn't
it.
anything else really
right,
to do.
but we did it,
and we had a great time.
and you guys survived.
Yeah.
And it's because of the RVers that you did.
You're welcome.
But on the post, on the post though, I mean, I've seen some really sad stories where they're saying that the RV owners are actually telling these people to their faces, well, sorry, we can, so we will. And I think that's detrimental to this community.
It really
I really
is.
do. We tried to buy an RV park, and apparently it's really hard to get permitting.
Right.
So, guys, I don't think that you're going to be getting any new RV parks. So the parks that are there are going to be there.
Especially ones that's like close to anything, really.
Right.
I mean, the only place that the townships will allow this stuff to happen is like on the outskirts, you know.
And even then, it's not. We were on the outskirts. We tried to buy 10 acres to the outskirts, and it still didn't work for us.
Nope.
We tried the permitting. We went to the city council. It just, none of it would work. So that in itself is, I don't know. Like, we are really considering getting off the road.
Yeah. Unless I'm on a job, we're really considering just putting the camper up, you know, while we're not
because this is as expensive as if we had own a house at this point. Some of these places that we're talking about, come the summer months, come the big time, it's going to be $1,800 a month.
Yeah.
Why would I pay that when I could have unless the only thing that you're interested in is the travel, that's great.
Right.
But even then, it's still going to be more expensive.
Right, because you got to remember, you're either driving a motorhome or you're pulling your camper. And so if you're doing either one of those, I don't have to tell you how much money you're spending in fuel. You could tell me all about that.
Right.
I mean, we could share that. That's a sore subject, but so yeah, it's very expensive all the way around.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if a lot of people aren't going to just have to pull off the road for a while during this time.
Well, that'll make prices go down.
I hope so. I hope they do at least stable out, but it's a constant rise.
Right.
And we noticed that, I mean, a lot of these parks cater to, and this park, for instance, caters to the guys that work here.
Right.
We have a plant, and it's 5 minutes away.
Oh, it's great. It's only 5 minutes up the road.
5 minutes up the road, which we save money on gas on that.
Absolutely.
So, I'm not going to move, but this whole park is full of guys on that job.
Right. So, and they have and they got a waiting list. They got a waiting list to get into here.
Yeah.
So, and charging the prices that they charge. So,
well, we would love to hear from you. We want to hear your opinion. Let's continue this conversation in the comments.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to enjoy the ride.